The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending today's Tips and Tricks for Government session. Today we're going to talk about collaborative editing, PDF editing with cloud-connected documents. This is using our latest technology called Connected PDF. Let me just briefly go through at a high level what Connected PDF is. Basically, the challenges with today's digital transformation, there's lots of data, lots of files that are being made available through a number of sources. You'll find them in traditional document management systems, enterprise management systems such as SharePoint, SAP, etc. You'll find them in cloud applications, and you'll also find them in cloud platforms or cloud storage. So really the challenge is what happens when your documents escape, right? These enterprise boundaries. There are a lot of vendors out there that are moving your documents or migrating your documents into cloud storage and then putting some secure collaboration, secure workspaces for people to share such documents. But again, what happens when somebody downloads that document to their desktop or downloads it to your mobile device? Now it pretty much escapes and is out in the wild. So introducing Connected PDF. This is our next generation, basically enterprise rights management. And what it basically does is it connects people, files, location systems together.
Are you showing your screen?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you showing your screen, Dee Dee? I'm sorry. I don't,
okay.
There
okay.
we go. Okay.
Okay,
I wasn't
there.
sure if you had started yet. Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. So Connected PDF, it's basically a way to connect files, people, locations. The whole key here is that there is permanence, right? So meaning that the protection stays with the file. So when the protection is now with the file, you have that end-to-end control over that file. So the example I gave earlier with the challenges, if your document is stored in your enterprise content management system or in your cloud storage and is sent to somebody else, and then that person who you shared it with downloads it onto their mobile device and then shares it with somebody else, you lose control, right? So with permanence, the file is protected through its life. Okay, Instant On is another benefit of our Connected PDF product in the sense that you don't have to set up complex trust mechanisms. All you need is to create a Foxit account, and then you'll have complete control over your documents. This is also a way to collaborate with others, right? So you can grant various rights to different people. And then we have multiple deployment options. This is very important, specifically for government, because we know that a lot of sensitive data exists in these documents, and therefore you need basically the highest security is the on-premise version of or deployment of our product. But we also offer hybrid solutions and also a public cloud offering. And also the key here is that there's seamless transition between the different models. So you can actually start with the public cloud version. You can try it out on with the free download, and then if you like the interface, you like the ability to share files and the features in Connected PDF, then you can move more towards the secure deployment, which is the on-premises option. And full rights management, right? So the documents are fully protected. You can revocate the documents. There's fine-grained permission and control. And when you share your documents, there's a full audit trail of who's doing what with your documents. Okay, so I'm going to pass this over to Dan now, who's going to give you a demo of the product.
Hi, everyone. Dan Morris here. So bear with me today. I've got a bit of a cold going on. Let's see. And there's audience. Okay, wrong screen.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay, great. Is everyone, can you see my screen, Dee Dee?
I can.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the is Foxit PhantomPDF, we're going to spend time today in. If you look across the UI ribbon here, you'll notice it looks a lot like Microsoft Office. This is a full-featured PDF creation tool, and today we're going to look at the Connect tab and the Commenting tab to talk about online collaboration, permissions, and what happens with your documents when you share them. To start off, I wanted to start a connected review with this document. So that basically means I've created this document and I want to share it with somebody. It could be internal, it could be external, I've converted this document to a connected PDF. This is where you would do that. That's grayed out because it's already been done. Now, a CPDF is a file format that contains data, as Dee Dee was saying, and it can be opened. A PDF document can be opened with any PDF viewer. It's just you're restricted to viewing the permissions and the specific data based on your account that you're using for the document, and that is all cloud-based. We'll get into that in a second. So we'll start a connected review of this tab here, and there's two different ways we can do it. This is kind of interesting. So we can start a review via link, or we can start a review via documents. So what's the difference here? So if we want to use the cloud, and again, this can be set up on a public cloud, which is what we're looking at today. This can also be set up on premise or in a private cloud. But if we want to make, I would think start a review would be used a lot because it will allow you to store the document in the cloud itself along with the settings. And if we start a review via document, basically we can do whatever we want with the document at that point. It is not uploaded to the cloud. You could upload it to a separate cloud device, to Dropbox or SharePoint, or you just simply email it out. But whenever that document is opened by the people allowed to open it, all the same permissions will take effect because the settings are stored in the cloud. So we'll start a review via link here. And I'm going to add another user. Use just a typical outside email address at an Outlook address, and hit send. And another thing that we can do as well is we can protect the document. If we wanted to set up permissions on this. So this is, you can add people with read and change permission on here. So if I wanted to get this specific with the document, I could have gone here first. And then once you add your user, you can continue to add users here, but you can also set restrictions for copying, editing, and even print resolution on the document. And another nice feature is you can cause the document to expire completely. So we're able to set up a time and a date when the document is no longer accessible by the people who you've invited to look at it. So let's switch over to the web. And so basically what I'm going to be showing you now is notification. That is gotten from, so I sent our friend Freddie here, and this is the notification that he is getting in his Outlook mail. And he's able to then open it directly into Foxit Phantom Reader online. So there's our document. He didn't have to open an application or anything. So there's a few different ways to do this. You know, Freddie could have had our free reader application on his desktop. He would have gotten a push notification as well as the email that he received. He could use our mobile product and or the online product as you're seeing today. And I just find it shows better to look at the mobile product next to the desktop product. It's a little less confusing when comparing. Oops, go back in there. Okay, so I'm going to go side by side here with the two documents. So on the right side, that's me, that's us on our Phantom desktop application, and on the left side, this is Freddie in the browser on Foxit Reader Online. And the online tool is pretty robust. It has a lot of commenting features, editing features, and even some protect and signature features on here. So if I'm in a connected review, want to make some comments on the white paper, I could add a note. Let's add a call out box. And we also have stamps available in the online product as well. So a reviewed stamp on here. Okay, so once that's done, I'll publish my comments, and they actually instantaneously will appear over here. Sometimes it takes just a second, but what we can do in the meantime is we can go to the review summary. So if I switch over here, I can look at the dashboard and see that a call out and a note have been placed in the document. And then coming back to the document, I can see what has taken place on the document. So it's pretty easy collaboration back and forth, and all of it is secure. And one of the things that is great about the connected PDF is it is a feature of Phantom, but it is kind of a product unto itself. So if I go into the dashboards now, and this is all cloud-based, again, it's being pulled into the Phantom PDF application. I have this entire dashboard just for my documents. And I'm able to see what version I'm on, adjust permissions, look at the statistics. I'm actually going to open one that has more data in it. So I'm going to open one that has more users. Again, you can see your users here on the left-hand side. But if I click through the tabs here, I can see what version we're using. So I can have multiple versions of a product, and I can restrict older versions, or I can go back to an older version if needed. I can look at how many views the documents had, who, when, where, and what type of device is accessing it. And events is a very powerful reporting tool as well, because you can report on just about any type of event that's happening within the document. And then you're able to set permissions and adjust those. You can set them initially, but you can add as many users as you'd like, or restrict users that you'd previously granted permission to. We have a statistics section here, which will show you what kind of events have been happening on your document when it's opening. And then we kind of have a final review page that gives a summary of everyone who has been on the document. So you have this dashboard for each document. You also have your own within the application overall dashboard. So this is for me. So that that was just the document that we created, but I can also control all of my documents that I have. So whether they're in the cloud, and this is something that we've uploaded and shared online, or if it's a document that we've set permissions and added data to, but just simply emailed to someone and it doesn't exist in the cloud, all of that information is still here. And this is where I can open a local file if I have one, change the owner of a document, request files, and there's an entire message center. So whenever something comes in, I'm getting a notification because I'm being asked for permission or access to a document, or I'm being notified that I've been invited to join a document. You can go back and look at all of your notifications here, which again come through emails, push notifications, and several different ways. I'm going to open up the deck now and let's see here. So all of these tiny words on here are all the different types of events that can happen and that we can track within your connected PDF. So it can get very, very granular, and there's a lot that you can do with it. So you can restrict and grant permission for any of these types of events. Here. And safeguarding sensitive PII and PHI and Homeland Security information is required as part of HIPAA, Privacy Acts, and other regulatory compliance. But Foxit Connected PDF comes deployed in a public cloud or, and I'll get into this a little bit later, the most secure environment, a private cloud deployment or on-premise. So your actual files can reside anywhere with Foxit connectors into SharePoint, OpenText, Box, most available cloud storage platforms. Really, it's completely up to the end user where they want to store their documents. The files are always tracked with DRM, even when downloaded to mobile devices. A FIPS encryption mode uses FIPS approved algorithms during production of PDFs to comply with NIST requirements for data protection. So very secure. And then just wanted to talk a little bit about the different types of deployments that we can have here. So all of those dashboards that you're seeing, whether it be the document dashboards or the user dashboards, those all exist on the connected PDF server. So if you look at this diagram, there's a connected PDF server right here. So today, the way we have it set up for consumers is, we have our own web service where people create accounts, they're able to share documents or send documents and share and read permissions for those documents. But that can be moved anywhere. So this is an example of a completely on-premise solution here. So, this corporate network boundary here, this is any corporation or organization who wants everything to stay contained and managed within their organization. This is where that would occur. So it would be creating your PDFs using PhantomPDF, publishing them using connected PDF, and then here's your document management system. Again, wherever you want to store those, it's completely up to you. And then for the users who have Active Directory and single sign-on, you can completely use single sign-on for connected PDF. So this can be a 100% a part of your organization. All of those dashboards, that entire program for permissions and tracking, living on your system, and even signed on with your corporate single sign-on. And of course, you can use a VPN to access that data from outside the network. So that's an example of an on-premise deployment. Or we could have a hosted virtual private cloud, in which case, we would have a data exchange point here. So we could have the connected PDF server in a secure private cloud scenario, where you can access through an HTTPS login or single sign-on, and then everything else pretty much remains the same. And this one is great. So a lot of people are moving to Office 365, and being able to support that with Azure Active Directories and single sign-on. Again, you can completely set up connected PDF to be run on a hosted environment, and it can be secure using Microsoft Azure Cloud and Azure Active Directories. So there's a lot of different options for setting up connected PDF. And it's available on all these platforms here. So, we've got Windows Mobile, Windows, Mac OS for our reader products, Android, iOS, Linux. So, we have our full featured product, Foxit PhantomPDF, is going to run on Windows desktop. And then we have an array of different ways to consume with our reader product. And our reader product is very robust, even allowing for PDF creation in some instances. And there we have it. Edie?
Okay, great. Thanks, Dan. So there was a question that came in. I encourage you to ask away. We want to make this as interactive as possible. So the question is the webinar all about connected PDF? I have Phantom PDF and Reader. Will this webinar have anything related to those two? So going back to the previous slide, let me just share my screen. So the connected PDF is available on all these platforms. So if you have Reader, if you have Phantom PDF, it is a feature of these products. So, and if you don't have it, then I would, suggest you can even use the PDF online version. So there's no product download required on your desktop. So yeah, so those, okay, great.
Right, yeah, connected PDF is a part of all of our products here. So whether it's a free reader product, you can still participate in connected reviews if you're invited to do so, and that works on our mobile products as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me just share with you, if there, go ahead and feel free to ask more questions. I'm going to just continue on with a few additional points about connected PDFs. So we really talked about collaboration, right? So when you're collaborating, especially with government entities, as they're collaborating with other agencies, or if you're collaborating with outside attorneys, if you're in the judicial system and the court system, there might be outside law firms that you need to communicate with very sensitive data. This is a way to provide secure collaboration, right? Secure meaning that it is you can deploy it in a private deployment in which your data will be fully secured. We have, as you saw, discussion boards. Everything's instantaneous, similar to Google Docs, right? Except the fact that you can keep your files stored on your system, in your system, wherever it exists, and you don't necessarily have to upload your documents into the cloud, as Dan described. We do have the option that you can upload to the cloud, and if you prefer to do it that way, or you can just keep your files on wherever they exist, and you can email the file to somebody. So what is tracked, what is in the cloud is the tracking mechanism, right? So all the changes that are made, all the comments that are made, all that information is basically tracked in the cloud. So again, here's the, we saw in the dashboard, we can actually see what your reader is doing, right? So now we call it document intelligence. So you can see that here, Shirley checked it into SharePoint. You can see that John added redaction on page 5. You can see that there was some policy protection done with rights management templates. Somebody used DocuSign to sign the document, right? So there's a lot of great detail here that you will not find really in any other product. So if you have very sensitive information and you want to know what's happening with your documents, or even if you just are sending out your documents for review, you want to know who's opening it, what they're doing with it, if they're copying information out of it, right? So as Dan showed, all those events are tracked. This is just a few of what you'll see in the dashboard. And another benefit is cloud, right? Cloud on mobile collaboration. And so if you're out in the field and you need some documentation, maybe some sensitive engineering docs because you're doing some repairs on the dams or the water district, there's some very sensitive intellectual property going on in some of these engineering diagrams. You can view all that on your mobile device, right? All secured through the cloud. You can also collaborate on those documents. If you're a law firm and you're getting some documents and you need some approval or you need some changes made, you can make all those changes. You can do the annotations, etc., on your mobile device, and then it'll instantaneously go back as Dan showed, and so everyone else can see the changes. And then of course scanning, right? So scanning is very popular for mobile devices. You could be law enforcement that's scanning evidence. You could be, Child Protective Services that's, that needs to take pictures of some youths. There's a lot of, again, sensitive information that can all work can be done on your mobile device and sent to other people or stored in the cloud in a very secure fashion. Okay, so this is the last slide I just wanted to share. I wanted to keep this time short to 30 minutes, so this is the last slide, and it basically shows that Foxit does have the full document life cycle, starting from building your documents with Phantom PDF all the way out through review, approve and publish, right? So as you're getting reviews to expedite the process, instead of emailing your documents around, you can simply do a connected review and see the changes done instantaneously. You can send it out for approval and publishing. You might need it signed, right? So with our DocuSign integration, DocuSign is FedRAMP accredited, and it does have the workflow involved there as well. So if you need to send it out for multiple signatures, you can do all that through Phantom as well. We also have compression and archiving, whether it's done within Phantom itself on file by file, or if you want to do it mass conversions, we have back-end server technology as well in other products that can help your back office automation. Sharing, of course, as you send it out now it's done, it's published, now you want to send it out into the wild, send it out into the internet, right? It needs to be tracked, and that's what Connected PDF is all about. Optimize, so as people read your document, you might want to know how long they're spending on pages, what they're doing with the document, and that's part of optimizing your document, right? As a document owner, you want to know what's happening with it, and if people are actually reading your documents. So you can optimize it, and then it goes back into possibly making changes to the document. Okay, so that's the presentation I had planned. We had planned for this session. I hope this was useful to you all. I wanted to keep it to 30 minutes. And if you have any further questions, feel free to contact us. We will continue to do more of these 30-minute tips and tricks sessions on other topics, such as DocuSign integration, forms creation, possibly RMS, Microsoft RMS integration, other features within the product specifically for our government users. Okay, so with that, I wanted to wrap it up. I wanted to thank you all for attending today's session. We're glad that you were able to take the 30 minutes out of your day to be with us, and we hope to see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.